The EFL Cup is one that has a special place in my heart. It's the last trophy that my club, Aston Villa, actually won. We don't count the Intertoto Cup. No one counts the Intertoto Cup. So whenever I get to it, I do kind of get a little bit excited, which is where we're at today because we are in that final. And it's against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So who knows what could happen? Oh, we've got Paris Saint-Germain again because, of course, they're the team we got drawn against in the Champions League because, of course, they are. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 27 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where, as mentioned, it's the Carabao Cup, EFL Cup, whatever you want to call it, the final against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then we've got the Champions League knockout round second leg against Paris Saint-Germain. And if you're excited to see how those two games go today, then do not forget to leave likes on the video and subscribe so you don't miss any of the Football Manager nonsense coming out of this face right here. Since you were last with us, yeah, good. Very good indeed. We were with you in that last game against Barcelona, funnily enough, and since then, it's been wins akimbo. We won the rest of the games in January. We won February as well. Didn't concede a single goal in February, actually. Nice. And then, defensively, we've not been quite as good this month, but still, we are still winning. So, status of other cup competitions, we are leading against Paris Saint-Germain. We got a 93rd minute winner. Pinamonti doing the business. Nice. So we are obviously through to the next round in, well, the next leg of the round of 16 with an advantage, which we're going to hopefully take advantage of fully today. Also, with the FA Cup, we're through against Cardiff. That was the team we got drawn against in the last round. Beat them 4-1. Nice. Pinamonti scoring 2. Also, Nicola Trasoldi, who we did eventually sign, scoring a goal as well. He's very much feeling like the heir apparent to Andrea Pinamonti. And look at the record since he actually signed. He signed in January, but I think he didn't go through until around deadline day. But scored in his first game twice, scored in the next game, scored in the next game, didn't score in the next game, scored in the next game, and then in the next game. He has not missed many games in terms of scoring goals. He has been fantastic. Pinamonti recently as well has been much better than Orlando. Orlando has dried up just a little bit. We have told him as much, so fingers crossed that gets the job done. But it's all looking really well. So again, we're through to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, which is against Arsenal, which is the game after the PSG game. So you won't be seeing that. But if we do get through, I will show you the semi-final. So you won't see that, but we are through to the quarterfinal there. We're also in the final of the EFL Cup, round of 16, the Champions League, the Premier League. We are first by a distance. 8 points clear with teams behind us level on games or higher on games. Orlando, as mentioned, on a bit of a barren spell, still on 22 goals. That's how well he did earlier in the season, but he's still on 22. Looking at the goal scoring charts, though, Pinamonti's catching up with 14. Kuchiyara's on 10. He's been sensational this season. But he's still, I mean, he's off the top of the teams because he's had so many bad games for us, but Shalderup has snuck in there. We've got 3 players on the assist top 3, including Jay Leatham, which is really nice to see. In terms of clean sheets, I don't think our man is anywhere. Well, he's 5th, so he's not too far behind, but still not particularly great. Our defence is still our weakest point, but that's how everything's looking. In terms of those transfers that we were talking about, I think the only one of note was Trasoldi coming in, 49.5 million coming in January. Money well spent so far. I think he will be a fantastic backup striker and also winger for us next season. James Price, I'm pretty sure you were aware, did leave for Newcastle, 82 million rising to 92. They're the big things that happened. We did recall, and again, I'm pretty sure you're aware of this, Michael Holdford back into the club. And so far, so good. He's actually looking the part. Form-wise, I mean, obviously there's a big gap there, but when he came back around here in January, okay, didn't do so well to start with, but then he's had a couple of games recently against Villa and Cardiff. Okay, one of them's against Cardiff, but the other's against Villa, where he has exploded to life. In his last couple of games for us, 3 goal contributions. He is looking very, very nice already. He is starting to grow as well, which is very nice to see. And Jay Leatham, as previously mentioned, my goodness me, he is growing and growing and growing. He will be getting an England cap in no time. He is going to be injured for today, though, which is a bit of a frustration. But, I mean, look at him. He is just turning into a superstar. He's a wonder kid. He's got 5-star potential still at 20 years old. And he's got 10 assists in 21 games with a goal as well. Not much of a goal scorer. Doesn't need to be if he's making goals for other people. But that is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the game. against Wolves, and this is the 11 we're going to be using for the final against them. It's Roberts in goal, Jimenez, Cresswell, Badiashile and Anning in defence, Veloso and Tapia in the middle with Palmer, Fairbrae and Holdford supporting Pinamonti up front. As mentioned, Trosoldi is injured, as is Jay Lethal. Both of these guys will be out of this game. Wesley Fofana, for some reason, he's not in the squad. Don't really know why. I think he did have a knock recently, but we will put him on the bench just to be on the safe side. Luke Thomas is out because Tirino Livramento can cover both fullback positions. And we've got James Ward-Prowse on the bench as well as Lavia. I want one of those two on the pitch to lift the trophy if we win it. I'm not getting ahead of myself there, but that is the 11. Apologies for the pause. Had a knock at the door. Had to go and see who the bloody hell it was. It was the postman. So let's get into the game and let's see whether we can win another trophy. Remember, we won every domestic trophy on offer last season, and we also won the Community Shield earlier this season, the most important trophy in world football. So let's see whether we can add to that. We have tried to G the guys up as best as we can with a team meeting before this match, but who knows whether it will work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it backfires, but here we go. It's game time, and let's see whether we can do things. Rue Walter scored against us before, so we do need to be careful of him, even though he is a centre-back. He's literally just dribbled through the pitch before and just scored an absolute worldie. I don't think I've ever had an earlier goal scored for me on Football Manager. I mean, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. 20 seconds. Good job, lads. We planned that. Straight from the training ground. I was waiting for us to concede a goal there and say, well, we didn't train that, but we didn't end up conceding, thankfully. What a start to this match. Wolves kick off, we steal the ball and score with our first even remotely close to attempt. And it's Pinamonti, the guy who Orlando has really overtaken this season. But with the run of form that Orlando, well, I say run of form, the run of lack of form that Orlando is in, he's really stepped up and come back into his best. Wolves potentially have equalised here. Buonanotte, I couldn't see his name properly then. He's a player who I have looked at previously and decided not to go with. Has not scored. It has been disallowed, but I'm quite grateful for that because otherwise it would have been a bit of a narrative of, oh, maybe I should have signed him. But he's miles offside, yeah. To see the rest of that, he's miles offside. Wolves are doing pretty well, though. They're coming back into this game quite concerningly. Badiashile very, very close to getting a goal there. Fofana is, I think, on the bench today. I think we are resting him. We're giving Cresswell a game. He played really well in the game against Paris Saint-Germain. I've not used him a lot this season. He is going to be leaving the club at the end of this season. We have pretty much agreed that with him that he can go. We haven't actually agreed a sale yet. I don't know how much we're going to get for him. Remember, we paid around 50 million. So whether we can get that back or not, I don't know. We will be looking to get as much of it back as possible. But you know, he served us well in those first couple of seasons. He's definitely a level below the likes of Badiashile and Fofana. Buonanotte is going to score here. No, he's not. My God, Anning did so very well. Right, Buonanotte is really, really concerning me at the moment. He's having a decent game. We're trying to put him onto his right foot, but he keeps cutting on the inside. And we are trying to go in hard on him. Apparently he's having a poor game. I would suggest that's not true. From the highlights we've seen, he's been an absolute menace. Utter nonsense. Right, McAllister with the corner, playing for Wolves, which is just mind-blowing considering where he is in real life now at Liverpool. Right, Svanberg trying to whip it in, can't quite get there. Bellanova can't get the end of it, I don't think, because the highlight ends, so I can't actually tell. Still that early goal separating the two teams. And a very, very close header from Badiashile again. Veloso lets the ball go out, wins the club a throw-in by doing so. And we come back immediately for that throwing. Holdford in his first final for the club, not having the best of games so far, which is a bit of a concern, but then it is a big game for him. He's on a yellow card as well. Both the guys down that left-hand side, not having a lovely time. Buonanotte, however, having an awful time out there. 6.1, really not having fun at all. We have stepped away from Wolves a bit, but it is still only the one goal. And the Paris Saint-Germain game, in the first leg of the Paris Saint-Germain game, although you guys didn't see it, I will reference it. We were battered in the first half. We had to turn things up in the second. We stole that result from them. So I know that it's very, very possible that they could come back in this game. We just need to make sure that we do our thing. Right. Holdford, as much as it pains me, is going to come off. He is going to be replaced by Shoulder Up, and I think we'll leave it at that for now. We'll keep an eye on Anning because he has got a yellow card. We do not want to push anything. I am also going to turn us up to attack. Let's push on a little bit. We're dominating them already. Let's push on a bit more. Their XG is much higher than ours, but, I mean, at the end of the day, XG, it might be the moral victory, but it's not the actual victory. Right, Shoulder Up, crashes it against the crossbar. We are literally doing everything but score at the moment. That early goal went in, and since then, we just can't put it in the back of the net. We're hitting the crossbar, the post, side netting, the top netting, everything but the back of the net, and that's the most important part of the net. I'm sure you'll agree. My goodness me, but it is looking like at the moment it's all going very well, but obviously we still have a lot of this game left to go. Shoulder Up is having a shocking game out there on the left-hand side, by the way. Anning, the left-back's been fine, but both of the left midfielders that we've had really not doing the job. Big ball over the top, looking for one of his teammates, Lewis. Buonanotte has got the ball again, trying to whip it in. Can't. Anning manages getting it in the way. Tapia now gets it to Shoulder Up, looking for the big ball forward. Can't find anyone. February can't intercept, and Wolves come again. Tapia does really well. He's on a yellow card, but he does so well to intercept there. I am going to calm him down a bit. He's on a yellow card. He's got to remember that. What a ball that is from Cole Palmer, and Pinamonti makes it too. What an absolute ball that was from Cole Palmer. Jay Leathan is, without question, my starting right winger at the moment. But Cole Palmer, I have no issue putting him in the team as and when needed. Watch this for a ball. Tapia gets it out to him. Palmer switches over to his left foot, outside of the boot, and Pinamonti rises like a salmon. There's a Sky Sports Soccer Saturday quote for you if you can remember. And just bang, sweet as a nut, gets his second of the game. And we lead by 2. And I think we've got a trophy coming home, boys. Our second League Cup looks like it's on the way. It's not over yet, remember. It's only a 2-goal lead. But Pinamonti, oh, I was getting ready to say, makes it 3 with a hat-trick. A hat-trick in a cup final would be nice. Very, very nice indeed. It is a corner for Shoulder Up now, whipping it in, looking for Badiashile. And it's Charlie Cresswell, actually, who finally, like, steps up in a game. Like, he played well against Paris Saint-Germain, I will say that. But recently, well, this season, to be fair, last season as well, he's just not been that good. It's nice to see him get on the end of something and get a goal in what's going to be his final season for us. That makes me quite happy, actually. Right, 3 goals ahead. Let's make some changes. Let's rest a few boys for the Paris Saint-Germain game. We're going to bring on Livramento. That's got to happen. Veloso's tiring. We're going to bring him off. I'm going to bring James Ward-Prowse on. And we will also, I think, I'm tempted to rest Tapia, although Lavia will play in the Paris Saint-Germain game. Kuchiyara, I think, will leave off. We'll, you know what? That's 3 changes. We'll leave that for now. Give it 10 minutes, then we'll make the final 3 and rest a few more. Because Pinamonti at the moment is going to be starting that game against Paris Saint-Germain, but I don't really want to take him off while he's on a hat-trick. That doesn't feel fair. Right, Dorich to Van der Ven. Wolves trying to build something here. They are 3 goals down. They have got 17 minutes plus added time remaining. That isn't a lot of time to get 3 goals minimum. Palmer looking for Pinamonti. Can't quite find him. Palmer has been... He's been all right in this game. I was going to say he's been very good. He hasn't. But he had one spectacular pass just loaded in the chamber and just unleashed it at the right moment. Right, Pinamonti over to Livramento. Lovely pass from him. Livramento just coming back from an injury into Palmer. Palmer to Shoulder Up. Shoulder Up. Passed it to the defender. That was as much of a pass as I think I've ever seen in Football Manager. What was he doing? I don't really know. Right, substitution o'clock. I think we'll take Cole Palmer off because there's a chance he's going to be starting in the game against Paris Saint-Germain because I don't know how fit Jay Leathan will be and it is literally the next game after this. So I think we'll do that. February can go out to the right. He can play there. We'll bring on Kuchiyara for the last few minutes. And then I'm thinking, I don't want to take Pinamonti off, really. I'd like to leave him on. Badiashile, I tell you what, he can come off. Fofana can come on. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll leave Lavia on the bench. And in theory, it'll be Ward-Prowse who lifts the trophy. It might be Tapia as well. I don't mind. I want Ward-Prowse on the pitch. He's on the pitch. That's the main thing that makes me happy. But bringing Kuchiyara on, as long with Fofana as late substitutions, I think is pretty spectacular to have as an option. But we are ticking down here. We are out of the danger zone, I think. I'm 90% sure we're going to win this game and win another trophy here at Southampton. And there it is. I still do not have a trophy to lift up, which is really frustrating. But we beat Wolves in the final. It's much more clear-cut than it was last season. This season, we come up against a team we know we're better than, and we have not been tricked by it. It's going to be Tapiri who lifts it up, not Ward-Prowse, but he will get his hands on the trophy, absolutely. In his final season of football, he is retiring. I don't know whether I told you that, but Southampton, the 2030-2031 EFL Cup winners. Nice. Nice. Very happy with that. Very happy with that indeed. Again, I've got a bit of an emotional attachment to the EFL Cup. I mentioned it in the intro. It's the last cup that Villa won in my lifetime. Again, we don't talk about Intertoto. But there it is. 3 glorious goals. 2 of them from Pinamonti, who is 99% going to be leaving the club next season. I'm sure. He's exploring his options, I think, at the moment. Like, we've not committed him to anything. We're just letting him explore his options. 31, 32. We're going to let him go out on a high. And that was spectacular. Very spectacular indeed. A bit of a shame Michael Holford couldn't perform. A bit of a shame Jay Leathan couldn't play. But we get over the line. We get a clean sheet as well in the final, which is great to see. Arsenal win their game in hand. Well, one of their games, not in hand, but they win a game 2-0 against Crystal Palace. So they have closed the gap a little bit with that win. Right, next game is going to be against Paris Saint-Germain. We have a 1-0 lead. Next leg is at home. We should, in theory, do very well at home. I feel like we've been here before and I've ballsed it up completely. Well, I don't want to disrespect the cup that we won in the last game, especially seeing as I spoke about it in such glowing terms. But let's be honest, this is the real test of the video. It's Paris Saint-Germain, who, remember, we did lose to in the league stage of the Champions League this season. And we did beat in the last leg in the 93rd minute. So we're 1-1 this season so far, but one of those was a more dominant performance than the other, so we'll see what happens. But this is the 11 we're going to be hopefully using to go through to the next round. It's Hoyenhal in goal, Jimenez, Fofana, Badiashile and Thomas in the defence, Veloso and Lavia in the middle, with Leathan, Kuchiyara and Shelder up, supporting Pinamonti up front. We have restored Jay Leathan back to the side because he's just in redonkulous form other than the game before he got injured. That one he didn't do so well in, but the rest of them, fantastic. Just going to go for it then and see what happens. Pinamonti is starting. Orlando is not. We have got Orlando as a bench option just in case, obviously, but I just do not at the moment. Do not trust him, Orlando. He's been very, very good for us this season. I think he will be an absolute world-class superstar striker who we will struggle to hold on to after a while. But just right now, he's not consistent enough for me to trust him. So I'm going with Pinamonti. He's been here with us before. He's scored on this level before consistently. Doesn't go anonymous that often. We're going with him. And hopefully that's going to be enough. Remember, we lead 1-0 after the away leg, the first leg. And we give the ball away straight away. Veloso gives it to Mbappe. Mbappe cutting inside here, going for a long shot. But Hoyenhal holds onto it. Early warning sign there, the first highlight with a PSG shot. I mean, apparently that wasn't on target. I saw the goalkeeper save it myself. I dispute that heavily. Right, next highlight starts with Hoyenhal. We're not going to score after 20 seconds in this game, obviously. We are building from the back here in the 22nd minute. Leathan, big ball over the top, finds Pinamonti. And Andrea Pinamonti makes it 1-0. It's 2-0 in the tie. We might be going through to the next round. Bonus. And I say bonus because I was kind of thinking when I saw Paris Saint-Germain announced, going to get knocked out here, but it looks like we might. It's early days still. We've seen what happened against Juventus a couple of seasons ago. We saw what happened with Inter last season. Do well in the first leg, throw the second one away. But we've started in the best possible way. Leathan with the assist as well, which is good to see after his recent injury. And we do lead by a goal to nil early on. And we are dominating Paris Saint-Germain at the moment as well, which is good to see. Kuchiyara with a free kick. Donnarumma just plucks it out of the air with little issue. Michael Holford, by the way, just a random thing I'd like to mention. He's a good free kick taker. He's got 15 as a free kick taking ability. I am going to train him on it at some point, see if we can get that up some, because I like having someone who's a good free kick taker. Bearing in mind, we're going to be losing James Ward-Prowse at the end of this season, so he doesn't start very often. He is an option for set pieces we do have. Mikel Oyarzabal has just gone through us there and just put the ball in the back of the net. And I don't think I much care for it. Also, I've just noticed Jay Leathan's picked up a knock. That's frustrating. Right, De Jong starts off in the middle here. There's plenty of options around him, to be fair. We don't mark very well at all. Hakimi gets the ball through to Oyarzabal. Thomas is kind of beaten quite easily there. And I'm a little bit disappointed in Hoyenhal there at his near post. Shouldn't be really being beaten like that. But it is what it is. Right, Lethan is coming off. We're going to bring on Cole Palmer. Don't want to risk it with Jay Lethan. I think anytime he comes up with a yellow injury, we don't take the chance. We just bring him off. Because the last thing I want is his career to be completely derailed with injuries. He is injury prone. It is a possibility. Right, Sheldraught whips it in. Looking for the head, weirdly, of Pinamonti, but doesn't manage to find it. We are still the better team in this game, all things considered. However, PSG are level. They only need one more goal to put things properly level in the tie, and that will give us an issue. Right, we are going to make sure that Jimenez doesn't lose his head. We are going to have a quick look around and see if anyone's playing badly. No one really is. So let's just tell Cole, go make a difference. Right, fire up. Come on, boys. Let's go and get another one and settle the tie, shall we? And we start the second half with a corner. Sheldraught whips it in. Look at Badiashile. Just heads it over the bar. So unfortunate, so unlucky. Sheldraught again, not having a particularly good performance. I am very tempted to bring Michael Holdrup on. To be fair, we have also got... Where is he? Trasoldi. I'm bringing Trasoldi on. Let's bring Trasoldi on because he has been absolute... I should have said something to him. Trasoldi has been absolutely superb since we brought him into this team. I'd love him to score today. I'm not expecting him to score today, but he has been fantastic, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did something mad like that. Right, we're still 1-1. We're still going through as things stand, but the longer it stays like this, the more concerned I will get. Badiashile not having the best game. We are going to bring on Keam and Guardian, and I'm not going to bring off Cole Palmer because he did get subbed on, although he did get subbed on quite early, so... I don't know. No, we're not going to. We're not going to. I think we leave things as we are at the moment. And we've got those final two changes should we need them. Right, the highlight that was going on in the background continues. Palmer now. Over to Jimenez. Back to Joe Veloso. Veloso nearly caught in the ball with possession there, but didn't quite get caught. Chiara did get caught, but Veloso takes over. To Lavia now. Lavia. Ball out to Thomas. Thomas heads down to Trasoldi. Back to Lavia. Trasoldi again. Looking for options. Goes back to Badiashile. We're retaining possession relatively well here. Veloso now. Looking for a good ball over to Cole Palmer. Finds it. Cole Palmer's in. And Cole Palmer makes it 2-1 on the night. 3-1 overall. And it looks like we are going through to the next round in the Champions League. As things stand, let's wait and see what happens. But right now, we go through. Patient build-up. We didn't lose our heads. We kept the ball. We waited for the opening. Cole Palmer finds it. Wasn't playing very well and explodes to life. Kind of in the last game when he delivered that superb ball to Pinamonti. But this time he provides the goal that hopefully settles us down a little bit. That's what I'm hoping for. That is what I am hoping for. Right, we are getting towards the business end of this half and this game, in fact. I'm going to make some substitutions in a moment. We'll wait for this highlight to end. Mbappe loses a foot race to Jimenez, interestingly. But, Jimenez has given away a penalty. Jimenez has given away a penalty unless anything changes. I am going to sub him off in the hope that there's double jeopardy and he doesn't get sent off for this. It's given. Don't think he's been sent off. No, he's been given a telling off, but he's not been sent off. Right, Mbappe with a penalty to make it 2-2 on the night. PSG doing their absolute best to come back into this one here. It's going to be Kylian Mbappe, who stayed at Paris Saint-Germain in this universe. He's got the goal. It's 2-2 on the night, and they need one more. And they have the momentum behind them. Need to keep doing what we're doing. Right, highlight. It's Paris Saint-Germain in possession. Flores looking for Tezgel. Doesn't find him. And now we have the ball. Lavia to Veloso. Back to Lavia. Lavia looking for a ball over. Gets it to Trasoldi. Pinamonti. Oh my word, that's so close. Donnarumma nearly takes it over the line from Pinamonti. But doesn't quite do it. And the ball goes forward. But Fofana gets it down. Veloso now to Lavia. Lavia into Trasoldi. Trasoldi back to Guardian. Guardian now looking for options. Over to Veloso. Veloso into Pinamonti. Pinamonti. Cole Palmer was on the overlap there. He didn't take him. Livramento into Pinamonti. And Pinamonti just steps up whenever we need him. And he makes it 3-2 on the night and might have just settled this tie. Paris Saint-Germain need 2 goals to go to extra time here. And we are making subs. I know I've missed a highlight. Hoyenhal not had the best game today. I'm willing to forgive it. We're against a good team. But we're winning. That's the most important thing. Substitute o'clock, though. We've got one more change left to do. I think we get someone in that engine room just who's a bit fresher. Both of them are playing well. I think. I'll tell you what I am going to do. Kuchera's going to come off. And in the playmaking position, I am going to bring on James Ward-Prowse. No, Tapia. I've used all my stoppages. I can't bring anyone else on. Right, discard changes. Don't worry about it. Okay, we'll see the game out with what we've got. Didn't keep an eye on the stoppages. That's on me. Right. We have dominated them. We deserve to go through in this second leg. Over both legs, we deserve to go through because we outplayed them far more than they outplayed us in the first leg. And we do go through 3-2 on the night. That is how you do it. We've won both legs. But again, I know I mentioned about Juventus and Inter Milan before. Juventus knocked us out at this stage in the past. Inter Milan have knocked us out at the next stage in the past. So it's not necessarily all done so far. But we win in the last round of 16. We are through to the quarterfinal. We are getting some money. We've got a Europa League place guaranteed for next season as well. We've got lots of emails in here about players who could be leaving. Kuchera could be going to Manchester City for 102 million. Veloso could be going to Liverpool 76. I intend for neither of those things to happen. I'm getting my words mixed up. But we've done really well there. And I'm very, very impressed with us that we've managed to carry through to that. Right. So when are we going to be back? Well, again, we're going to miss the Arsenal game. I think we'll do what we normally do. We'll come back for the second leg of the next Champions League game. So that quarterfinal game there, the game that we normally get knocked out in, we'll come back for that. And we might as well come back for Manchester City as well because that seems like fun. That seems like a lot of fun. So we're going to do that. But until then, thank you very much for watching today's video. I've realised I've clapped there instead of clicking like I did in the last video. But hopefully the edit will still work. But if you've enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on there for me. And subscribe so you don't miss any content in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.